All right, let's talk about roof racks. I know you want to buy one and you want to throw a bunch of stuff on top of it and look like you're on an expedition going to Walmart. But you should not do that. There are a lot of things that you need to consider when loading a roof rack and when and why you should use a roof rack. First things first, why would you get a roof rack? It does provide a lot of usable real estate of a vehicle to store things or put stinky things or odd shaped things out of the vehicle. There is good use for them. Just be careful. Loading a roof rack is a tricky thing. The big problem with it is that you're raising your vehicle's center of gravity. As you put more things on top of the vehicle, it wants to tip over easier. You might say, well, I'm not really doing aggressive trails. I'm going to put stuff on the top. I'm actually that is part of it, but it's really about that defensive move that you have to make on the interstate, changing lanes at high speeds. That's when this stuff really comes into play. A lot more force, a lot more momentum, and any small thing that you do on top is greatly exaggerated in a high defensive maneuver. So keep your mind in the big picture about the safety of the vehicle. Typically, manufacturers usually place their roof rack limits at 150 pounds, 100 to 150 pounds. Very few have any more than that. And it's not necessarily due to the weight limit of what the roof rack can hold or the roof can hold. It's actually back to that center of gravity discussion about what they're willing to say that you can put on the roof without affecting the road manners or the safety of the vehicle in a defensive maneuver. Well, it's strong enough. It certainly is strong enough to put a lot of stuff on there. It's actually, all modern vehicles are strong enough to hold the weight of the roof or the weight of the vehicle when the car is on its roof. It's part of the roll cage. Does that mean that you should put all that kind of weight up top? No, it's back to the safety of it. So how do we use and load roof racks at Expedition Overland? We try to keep it as light as possible and use it when we need to only. So we use boxes like alu boxes because they're really lightweight. We put clothes and shoes and coats and jackets, maybe some dehydrated food, things like that in the roof boxes. There's nothing really heavy up there. The heaviest thing you're probably going to put up there is a rooftop tent, which oftentimes is anywhere between 100 to 200 pounds, which already is either maxed out your vehicle rated load limit for safety. And then on top of that, you may have lifted the vehicle too, which actually changes that number to be less of what you should put on it just because you've raised the vehicle already. That value of what came factory is now not totally accurate, it's less. Let's take the vehicle behind me. This is a 2015 4Runner. It's got an easy on rack on it, an easy on rooftop tent, alu boxes, an awning, and a light bar. That's maxed. That's the most we want to put on this, especially for day-to-day driving. The easy on rooftop tent is 125 pounds. The roof rack itself is probably around 50 pounds, give or take. Light bar, another 10, 12 pounds. Awning, probably 30 or 40 pounds. It's right there. We shouldn't put any more on the roof as you see it back here. The stuff that's in the boxes, actually right now, they're empty. But on the trail, it would probably be dirty clothes or coats, things that we got to get to quickly that we don't want, or stinky shoes or underwear that we don't want in the vehicle with us. So we put lightweight things and stuff that we don't need a lot that is lightweight, like a shovel, and we try to keep it there. Now, there are times when we put more on it. We've loaded fuel on the roof, we have put high lift jacks on the roof, but it's usually during very special, limited expeditions where we needed to just make that compromise for that trip. But we knew why we were doing it, and we knew what the consequences were. We typically slow down a little bit, and we're more aware of how top heavy the vehicle is when we're on the trail. So maybe the general rule should be for roof racks that as little as possible, but as much as necessary. What that is up to you.